Hi, I'm Cindy Poulsen with Cindy Poulsen Real Estate. I'm going to be launching a new series of videos of tips for buyers and sellers with lesser known items, and today's topic is going to be 1031 deferment or 1031 exchange. I'd like to introduce local expert from Title I, Owen Glodt.
Yeah, hey Cindy.
Owen, what is a 1031 exchange or a tax deferment?
The 1031 exchange actually comes from Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code, and it allows a real estate investor to sell a piece of real property and defer the long-term capital gains tax that are realized or recognized from that sale for really an indefinite period of time.
And why would we do an exchange versus just a typical home sale?
Well, at the core, people do 1031 exchanges to really defer that long-term capital gains tax. And people that do a 1031 exchange will seek deferment for an indefinite period of time, or they can also pair with some sort of estate plan attorney or figure out ways to defer taxes to give their heirs some sort of a stepped-up basis or some sort of additional benefit there.
So Owen, how do you know if you qualify to do this, or how do you know what properties qualify to do this?
So there's actually two different things that you need to have a successful exchange in that area. First, you need to have a qualified taxpayer. And really what the qualified taxpayer is just someone that has a social security number, a taxpayer ID of some sort. So that can be an individual, an LLC, a trust, or some sort of other entity like that. And then they also need to have a qualified property for sale. And that qualified property needs to be a real piece of property, and it needs to be an investment piece of property that's held for the safe harbor of at least 2 years.
What is the typical cost for an exchange?
Yeah, so the typical cost for a 1031 exchange is around $800 for a one-to-one, meaning that you sell one piece of property and then you purchase one piece of property.
Oh, and I know I get a lot of confusion from buyers and sellers about the difference between Section 121 and a 1031 exchange. Can you kind of highlight the differences of what those actually are?
Section 121 allows and really applies to primary residences. And if you live in that primary residence 2 out of the last 5 years, you get an exemption of $250,000 or even $500,000 in some cases. The 1031 exchange is a deferral mechanism in order for a real estate investor to defer long-term capital gains on a piece of investment property instead of that primary residence. And so the main difference there is one is a primary residence and one is an investment piece of property.
So, and now we're going to get into the meat of the matter. Can you just walk us through what a typical successful exchange looks like?
So the 1031 exchange process starts when we have a real estate investor selling a piece of investment property. Once that property has an accepted offer, it goes into title and escrow. And we collaborate with the title and escrow company in order to get all the closing situated. Once that piece of property closes, those funds come to us, and the 1031 exchange identification process begins. You'll have 45 days to identify potential replacement property. And for those who are coming out of markets such as California, Seattle, New York, big markets, metropolitan markets around us, their 1031 exchange identification is crucial to get correct. It's important to have a real estate agent like Cindy on your side in order to fully take advantage of your identification time. Because after day 45, on day 46, you'll be locked into those nominations. And in order to complete your 1031 exchange, you'll need to purchase off the identified properties list. After day 45, you'll have an additional 135 days for a total of 180 to get that piece of property purchased, or multiple pieces of property purchased.
So if I'm just a typical home seller, can I do this with any agent?
So actually, you do need to have a 1031 exchange accommodator to help you with your 1031 exchange. A 1031 exchange accommodator, like us, would be able to go ahead and step into your shoes and help perform the 1031 from start to finish. And then it's also important to have a seasoned agent like Cindy to go ahead and take you around the Boise area or the Treasure Valley in general and help you come alongside you to do the negotiation process and also the identification process. Someone that is well aware of the different timelines and deadlines associated with the 1031 exchange.
So those are your 1031 basics. Thanks so much, Owen, for your help today. Keep your eye out for other helpful tips and videos that will be coming in the future, courtesy of Cindy Poulsen Real Estate. Results that move you.